It's Aunt Rudell again. Here I am. And you know what I say. A good sense ain't common, 'cause everybody don't have them. You know, I just heard something. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it for myself. They call themselves squatters. Basically what that means is that they just go sit their behind up in somebody's house that they don't own, ain't never paid $1 of rent, and just squat. Just go in there and sit down in it. Break in the doors and just squat in other people's houses. I watched this video, and this girl she and her business partner. Now, let's just talk about that. Business partner? Well, sister, what kind of business the two of you doing other than sitting up on somebody else's stuff? Well, it don't take too much ingenuity, business sense. It just takes you learning about how to be the best rogue that you can be. You know, you can learn new ways of breaking in places you ain't got no business being. That's your business? Well, about any common robber, thief that you meet on the street can be in that business. So I watched the video. It baffled me that she, knowing she was wrong, don't even know who the people are to pay rent to, because she ain't never met them. She had no intention, no interest in meeting them. No, not the landlord. Why would I need to know them? I'm just going to go in there and just sit up in here. And then when somebody says something about it, I'm going to fight being wrong. Now, how many people in the world do that? No, they dead wrong. And they the first one pull up fists. Now, I keep telling y'all, a good sense ain't common, 'cause everybody don't have them. Oh yeah, sitting in there. This is my property. Girl, you don't need, I'm gonna tell you where you need to be squatting. You need to be squatting in somebody's insane asylum. That's where you need to squat. And in a hurry. So you can get some help. You can get some help. Because something wrong. Something real wrong. To be that disillusioned where you just walk down the street and you see a house that you think ain't nobody in, and then you decide to just commence to just go breaking in the door with the knives or coat hanger or whatever you use to get in there, and just go in there and just sit down and make yourself at home. Yeah. The place you need to be squatting is either in a church, hallelujah, or an insane asylum, or both. You know, on Sunday mornings, you can show up at the church. Every other day of the week, sit up in the other place, the house. You know what I mean. So I watched it, and look at this.
This woman was just sentenced to jail for her role in this squatting saga I've been covering for more than a year now. This story is wild. It has made national news, and it's even resulted in a change to state law here in Florida. So last March, these women moved into a vacant rental house owned by Patty Peoples. It was for sale at the time. Patty said they had an offer on it, so she was surprised when she found these two women living there. She ended up calling the police.
She has a signed lease and paid $3,100 for first and last month rent.
She implied she was a victim of a rental scam. So the officer does some research and he finds this suspicious.
You're being scammed for your home. This is what I believe. Now,
she's part of it.
She had claimed to be a victim of the same type of scam just months earlier from a nearby property where she had been recently evicted.
Oh no, of course, I'm not going to vacate.
But the officer says there's nothing he can do. It had to go through the civil court system to determine if they were actually victims, and that can take weeks. And the women were allowed to stay in the house, and Patty and the other owner weren't allowed inside.
Oh, okay, because once you're in my property and you're in my house, anything
this is not your property.
Oh, okay, I thought so.
I thought so.
This is not your property.
The squatters refused to leave, and as you can imagine, things got testy.
Why did you break the window?
We look like we did it on purpose. Don't say nothing to her. Bye. Come on. Do we need to call Officer Smith again? Yeah. Didn't he tell you not to come here?
Ahead.
When the women were finally evicted weeks later, the house was left like this. Drywall was torn out. Patty said there was feces left on the carpets. Windows were broken. She also said appliances were stolen. Months later, this woman was arrested and charged with criminal mischief and trespassing. She pleaded guilty and the judge sentenced her to 30 days in jail plus 2 years probation, 50 hours of community service, and the judge also ordered her to pay about $3,600 to the victim in restitution. After our investigation exposed this legal loophole, the state legislature voted unanimously to fix it. If you want to know more about this story, we've got a lot of reporting on this on news4jax.com.
Do y'all believe that? That somebody who's supposed to be sane would do something like that? People, don't be a fool. Use some common sense. And common sense look like this. Well, if I want some place to stay, I go find me a job. And then I get up every day and I go work that job. After a while, someday during that week or the next week, there's something called a paycheck. They pay you. Now, what you do with the paycheck, you take that paycheck and you pay for what you want in this world. Be it a payment on a car, food to eat, rent, where you want to lay your head down. But squatting, you just can sit up there and count the days that the police gonna come knocking on your door. Or even worse, people, my people. So I don't know if you heard about this, but don't you do it. That's wisdom from Aunt Rudell. I love you. Yes, I do. And remember, don't squat, cause good sense ain't common, cause everybody don't have them. Go get something of your own.